Translations on a Cartesian plane. So a translation is a slide or a movement in straight lines. So in these first examples here, we're going to be moving this point, starting here with the one on the left. We're going to use this point and we're going to label it A. So we're going to move point A, what we were asked to do in the instructions here. So we see at the top, translation, they want us to move it 9 units left and 8 units down. Okay, so one way we can do this is we can just count the number of units. Now we've seen before 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we got to go 8 units down. So our new point, new location for A is down here. Now one thing that's significant and important here is remember that we have to label it properly. Now this was the original shape or image or point, and we want to label our new one, so we have to differentiate between what is the new one and the old one. So this new one we refer to as the image, and we label that with a little apostrophe up there, and we call that A prime. A prime is how we would read that. Now the one last thing we do when we're labeling this is we're going to draw a translation arrow from the original to the new image. So we draw a little arrow from the original A point over to A prime. And now we've completed the translation and we've labeled it properly. So let's see another example here. Okay, this one wants us to translate 4 units right, 6 units down. Now, another way you can do this is we are currently at -5. We want to go 4 to the right. So -5 plus 4 to the right as we move right on a number line is going to take us to -1. And then we need to go 6 units down. So on the y-axis, I'm at the 2. 6 units down on the y-axis is going to put me down to -4. So we don't have any labels on these points this time. So we're just going to do our translation arrow. And that tells the person looking, this is the original, this is the new image. Okay, let's move down to one where we're doing first we're going to describe these. So what were these movements? Then we're going to get into some shapes. So what were the movements that happened in this translation? Now again, we see here, we have the original image here with the A, and we have the new image here with the prime on it. So how did I get from A up to A prime? So again, we always go left or right first on the x-axis, that movement, and then up or down on the y-axis for our second movement, just as if we were finding the coordinates of where we are. So we're going, if we want to count like this, 2, 3, so we moved 3 units left, and how far up did we go? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units up. Okay, 3 units left, 4 units up would be our description of that. One more. So here we have B, the original, over to A prime, B prime, the new image. So again, left or right first. So this one we're at -4. We start here and we end up at +2. So the difference there is 6 units left. And how far did we down? We started at a +1 and we ended at a -3. So that is 4 movements down, 4 units. Now to double check that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Okay. So there's our description of that translation. Okay, let's move down here. Do we have some shapes? Now we'll quickly erase those. Okay, so we want to perform and label these translations. So translate this shape, 2 units left, 1 unit up. Now it's important to remember that when we have a shape every point has to translate the exact same amount, or else we then distort or change the shape. We have to keep the shapes the same. So we're going to move every point, the 3 points in this triangle, all of them will move 2 units left and 1 unit up. So 2 left, this one starts on 2. We're going with this point first. Starts on positive 2, 2 left would make it to 0 right on the y-axis. 1 unit up is going to put us from 1 up to 2, so that will be that point. Bottom one here, 2 to the left is here, up here. Okay, and then this one, 1, 2, and 1. We're going to be up here, and then we draw our new shape. Okay, again, we have to put a translation arrow showing the original shape to the new shape. Okay, before we do this one, let's just label this dar. Okay, we label it dart. Now we're going to move this shape. Again, all of them have to move 4 units right, 4 units down. So okay, we're there. And that is going to be my R prime. 1, 2, 3. Straight above it, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be here. A prime. And then from the A prime, 1, 2, 3 over, 1, 2, 3 over. This is going to be D prime. And then the next one will be down here. So my shape stays exactly the same. And my labels, same letters on the point they're originally on. Then I add prime. Then I draw my translation arrow. Now again, important to know, it can come from any point from the original to the new image. We just have to make sure that we're going from point to its corresponding point. So in this case, I went from T to T prime. Okay, we're not going to go from D over to A, sort of a thing here. Okay, let's do another one. First, let's describe these translations. So here we have the, also once it's complete labeling, so we have ABC, triangle ABC. We have a translation arrow going this way, so this is our original. This is our new one, so I'm going to label these properly. Okay, C prime, A prime, and B prime. Okay, now we need to figure out how far this went. So again, we can count doing this little jumping way, or we can, so we're at -5, and we went over to +5. So that's 10 units right. Now for the up or down movement, we're going down, but we start on the 5, okay, and we went down to a -7. So 5 and 7 is 12. 12 units down. Again, we can count that if we want. 2, 3. $10 and 12, as expected. Okay, so now we have completed the labeling. We've described the translation properly. Now we'll do this last one here. Describe these translations, complete the labeling. So again, I need to draw my arrow. I'm going to draw this arrow from G to G. Why not? Okay, I know this is my new image because it has the primes on it. So the movement, let's go with G. No, let's go with E. It's right on the x-axis here. So it's a -3, and E went right over to +4, so that's 7. So we moved 7 units right, and so from the x-axis, E is up on the 5, so we went up 5 units up. Complete the labeling, we're done. We got the primes, we got the arrow, everything's perfect. So that's how we do translations. If you have any questions, just feel free and watch that video again.